Welcome back, College Baseball Central fans. We're back for another preseason preview. Welcome back, fellas. I'm joined today by Noah Darling and Jake McKeever. Well, we're going to get the show started here. So we rank all the teams here. So those of you who have not watched one of our preview shows, we start with 13, and we're going to go down all the way to 1 here for the Big 12 since there's 13 teams now. Noah, number 7 team, much maligned. That these fans don't really love me because I talked so much trash about them last year. I was right, by the way. This team's not very good last year. Number 7, Oklahoma. Tell us a little bit about this ball club and what they need to do to turn their season this year.
Well, we heard it from Skip Johnson himself. This is a program built on a culture. They have that wagon wheel of culture. It was all he talked about in Omaha. And then they kind of fell apart a little bit last year. So I'm anxious to see how this team rebuilds. I'm a big fan of John Spikerman, who feels like he's been at Oklahoma forever now because he was so good as a freshman. He's so fast in those base paths. He's kind of must-watch TV, but you kind of forget about him on an Oklahoma team that struggled last year. It's kind of unfortunate. Kendall Pennis also back. Jack Nicklaus also back, or not Jack.
Nicklaus.
Jackson, of course, yes. Not the golfer. But it's going to be an exciting time for Skip Johnson to kind of address in this almost a rebuilding time where you still have a little bit of those pieces from who played for a national championship, whereas now you're heading into the big bad SEC next year. It's going to be a little bit of a magnifying glass kind of a year for Skip Johnson.
Yeah, when we talk about it, Skip Johnson is a pitching coach, right? Like that's where he grinded his gears, that's where he got his teeth cut. James Hitt is going to have to be a dude. He's going to have to be the ace of this ball club if they want to be elite, if they want a chance at winning this conference. They're going to have to be better on the pitching side because that's really where they fell apart last year. Granted, they didn't hit very well either. Spikerman, Nicklaus, they both had down seasons. I expect to see both of them make huge leaps forward. Jake, do you have anything to add on this Oklahoma team? Because I know that there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like here. I mean, they did have series wins over Texas and TCU, but, I mean, they coupled that in with losses to Kansas State and Baylor. But, again, Easton Carmichael was a Big 12 freshman first year. I mean, John Spikerman in May, I mean, his average was down in the 230s, and he ended up being Big 12 honorable mention. So if we see May John Spikerman, I think that Oklahoma is going to be a team to beat. And, again, I remember we talked about it, how they were going to go down to Baylor, and it felt like that was going to be the get-right series for them. And it just ended up being a nightmare. So I think the rebound is going to be the team for OU this year. That's going to be their theme, as, again, they try and move out of being 64 of 64, because I don't think the committee gives them that benefit of the doubt this year like they did last year.
They should not have last year. I was a very big proponent saying that they should not have been in the tournament at all last year. I feel like USC out here in the Pac-12 got completely screwed over in that whole bidding process because they were a much better team than Oklahoma was. However, Oklahoma does have dudes, right? They can compete. They are a team that can be exciting. John Spikerman has a gigantic swing for a non-gigantic human. I'm excited to see what this ball club does and then in the future here.